Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. All right. Okay, I'm doing this video for HTF 423 Food Science for my HM 242 3A and 3B review class. Okay. This is the video that you are waiting for since last week, I think. But this week only that I can be able to converse properly because of the voice problem last week. So inshallah, this is it, right? Okay, for review, everybody need to know, you have to first, you need to review all your slides from the class. You need to review all the past questions, of course. If you look at the past questions, you'll be able to digest, you'll be able to understand what are the main concerns or the main topics that is always being asked from food science subjects. All right. Okay, so first of all, I would just like to you need to know all the terms and definitions for the terms. You need to know all the definitions for the terms that we have come across in food science, okay, such as Maillard reaction, caramelization, syneresis, gelatinization, dextrinization. You need to know of the pasteurization. You need to know what's the meaning of rigor mortis. Then what else? Preservation. You need to know what are the what are the fatty acids? What is the definition for fatty acids? Okay, and then to go into a more detailed subtopics, you need to be able to discuss the similarities and differences between Maillard reaction and caramelization. I think we did that in class. Especially you need to be able to discuss the egg grades, okay, how the eggs are graded, okay, especially the candling, the Hume units, and then how and the grades in eggs from double A. What are the criteria for grade double A eggs until the D grades eggs? All right. Okay, and then also this one is also, we discussed this in class. Pasteurization, we discussed this especially on milk, under the milk topic. So you need to know the temperature and time, duration for pasteurization in milk, okay, and you need to be able to discuss how this pasteurization is being done. Of course, the definition, how it's being done, the time and the temperature. All right, and then you need to be able to define and discuss, define and explain what is rigor mortis in meat. And then and of course in meat, the other important topic is on the color changing in meats, okay, after on the onset of slaughtering, and then after you slaughter, and what happened to the hemoglobin in the blood, and how that how it affects the color, the color changes in meat. All right. And then the other thing is you need to know of the plant pigments, because okay, the plant pigments, we discussed this under the fruits and vegetables. Of course, the plant pigment, the four major plant pigments that we discussed in class are betaline, anthocyanin, carotenoid, and chlorophyll. So you need to know what are the what do you call, what are those, okay, why these plant pigments are important, what affect these plant pigments, the high temperature, if you what do you call, if you heat it Okay, if you heat betaline, what happened? If you heat anthocyanin, what happened? And what are these plant pigments? Okay, where can you find these plant pigments? In what kind of fruits and veggies? Okay, what color are those? All right, and then you also need, okay, back to the meat session, meat topic. I think I missed that. How cooking affect meat? In fact, how acid, how temperature, how heat affect meat, how acid, how acid, how the what do you call, how heat affect meat. And also you need to when we discuss about how heat affect meat, and of course the denaturation, um, you also need to know, you also need to be able to explain how protein changes from the primary, secondary, tertiary coil, and then up until the uh, quaternary pigment, no, the quaternary protein coiling, all right? Okay, because that is associated with how meat changes in upon heating, right? Okay, and then um, you need to be able, from that topic of meat, from the topic of milk, you need to be able to differentiate between denaturation and coagulation. Of course, first you need to know what is it, the definition for it, and then you need to be able to discuss the difference between denaturation and coagulation. And then you need to know how milk changes, what affect milk changes, such as heating, such as when you add in acid, okay, when you add in natural acids, and when you add in acids from the cooking process. Okay, and then you need to know, just now I told you about the externalization, preservation. You need to know the, okay, how the rancidity in fats and oils. Okay, there are, I think we discussed this in class, especially two types of there's a two types of rancidity in fats and oils, which are oxidative and hydrolytic rancidity. You should be able to discuss that, the difference and the similarities between oxidative and hydrolytic rancidity. And again, to preservation, why we need to do preservation, when we need to do preservation, and what types of preservation there is in food preparation. Of course, you need to know, under the topic carbohydrate, we need to know one of the major process in carbohydrate, which is in cereals especially, which is this gelatinization. We discussed this in class, how gelatinization or the heating of the cereals affect its texture, right? Remember that we draw the the granules in water, immersed in water, and then when you cook, you boil the granules, and how water enter the granules, and the granules explode, and you know, from, and then and we discussed that in the context of rice, cooking rice in the kitchen, right? So you need to be able to explain gelatinization, and then you need to know how, under the topic of preservation, I'm going back and forth, okay, never mind. I hope you jotting down. You need to be able to discuss about the use of heating in the preservation of food. I think we discussed that quite a few. There's a heating, you use the sun dry, you use the spray dry, you use the radiation. Those are the elements of heating on food, and how that elements are on, or how that process preserve your food. All right, and I think that's about it. The important topics for you to review before you're going for your exam. All right, and all the best for your food science subjects, and I'll see you on my Raya open house. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you.